Hello everybody and welcome to the MGL. This is week 3. We are playing against Shroom today, Shroom Raver, and he has a pretty scary team. Didn't necessarily expect everything here. I think the biggest problem that I have is Quaxwell. I'm kind of glad to see no breaks in. What else could I have seen? I could have seen Grovyle. Kind of thought I was going to see Grovyle because now MARSHTOMP looks really hard to break. Yeah, so generally, the idea here is that MARSHTOMP and Chargebug are hard to break together. Chargebug can kind of deal with Quaxwell, MARSHTOMP can kind of hit everything else. Morgrim is here to deal with Fracture in case he gets a boost. I just like Life Orb Gokey because Quaxwell can be so bulky. We have Grassy Seed Coughing with Thief, so I can try and get rid of an Annihilate, and a Draco Plate Dragon Dance Outrage and Scale Shot Hakamo. I don't know who I would want to lead here. I feel like Shrapnel's probably just a fine lead. Well, no, because... MARSHTOMP is maybe my best lead still. Purely because of Glimmet being like a pretty solid lead. I kind of wish I could have gone Chargebug. I think if they had Grovyle, I probably was a little bit more hesitant to just lead MARSHTOMP, but MARSHTOMP, my set here is specially defensive, and it has an Annihilate, so it's pretty bulky on the physical side as well. Yeah, and Summers, that's fine, dude. Fine by me. I think I just click Avalanche into this. It'd be cool to kill it. I can't think of anything that's really capable of doing right away. I believe it gets Energy Ball. But I do not believe... Oh, it doesn't even get Energy Ball. It gets Giga Drain. 252 Giga Drain into MARSHTOMP. Doesn't even 2-hit KO, so we're just going to go for Avalanche. Good, more than I thought. That's like Expert Belt or something. Hi. Focus Sash. Oh, it was Modest. Okay, that makes sense. It got hit. That was Modest, and it was a high roll. That's unfortunate. Okay, that sucks, dude. Well, I think we can kind of just go out into Chargebug at this point. I can't think of anything it's really capable of doing. It just got a speed boost, right? That was all it got. Yeah. We keep this around, because in case I get it in like Quaxwell or Gotharita or something like that, I can rest. It kind of makes sense to try and get Gokey in, but if he just goes for like any other move, then he takes too much damage. Chargebug, though, on the other hand, against like a Bug Buzz, only takes like 30%. So we'll just do that. If he goes for Giga Drain, then I still only take like 7%. That was Focus Sash. That was a high roll from Giga Drain, which is so annoying. Super duper annoying. Okay, I could have gone Rookie. Huh. Do I think they let this stay? I don't necessarily know. What would they go out into? Maybe Glimmet? I think I just click Volt Switch. I could click Lunge, maybe, but no, I'd want to get out of here if they just like go directly out into Glimmet. I don't have any Stealth Rocks, so they might anticipate that and just stay, and like switch out because I didn't go for Stealth Rocks right away. They are gonna go for just the Air Slash though, no flinch. Cool. Killed Yanma. I could probably maybe go out into MARSHTOMP, but then the problem is Fracture, I think. I think he's the only Pokemon that's like very obviously still able to kill MARSHTOMP. It would force him into like Dragon Move, but yeah. Maybe I do that. Maybe I go out into MARSHTOMP, bait him out into something. He has Glimmet, Gotharita, Quaxwell, Murkrow. I don't believe Quaxwell would be able to kill me, even if they were like max attack. No, they would have to be they would have to be the strongest MARSHTOMP ever, or Quaxwell ever. Maybe we go out into MARSHTOMP and pivot out on a potential Fracture switch in. I think it's very fair to say that Fracture is probably they could go out into Murkrow, because Murkrow is more than likely nasty plot. Hey Michael, Gotharita, okay. I kind of want to switch on this too, for different reasons though. I think I can go out into Morgrem on this as well, actually. They really did bring Gotharita. Wow. I was almost Exeter to avoid that. So I don't want Lunge to proc competitive. I don't believe this gets any grass coverage. It does get Grass Knot. Okay. Which isn't actually enough to kill me, even if it's modest. It would have to be Choice Specs or something. Let's go Morgrem, though. I get to scout for that, and Grass Knot doesn't do much of anything to Morgrem. I've also checked Gotharita's move pool before. It doesn't get anything to hit super effectively. So, Energy Ball. Oh, it does get Energy Ball. Okay, well, I'm glad I switched then, because I would have killed... I typed in Grass, and all I saw was Grass Knot. MARSHTOMP would have definitely died to that then. Okay, well, I'm glad I switched. That didn't do even 2-hit KO, so I believe Morgrem's bulky enough to take 2 of those. Dark Pulse does do about 80%, and nothing wants to switch into it, so we're gonna go for Dark Pulse. I don't even think Murkrow... Oh, okay. Oh, it's a Violate. Can I get a flinch? No. That's fine. Quick kill. Okay, so it's a Violate. That makes me think it has HP investment, which makes me think that this Dark Pulse next is probably not enough to kill. I could go Gokey, but Grookey's probably not able to kill this either. I kind of need to keep this around, at least for a little bit longer. Can Charge Bug kill with Lunge? Probably not. If I were to go Gokey on the Energy Ball again, well, it would die to anything, really. Can't go Coughing. I think I just gotta go for another Dark Pulse. Okay. I'm fine with this. Are they gonna go Murkrow? Yeah, Murkrow makes sense. Big damage on the Murkrow. I could pivot out, of course. I can't go out into Coughing, but I could maybe go out into Charjabug. If they go like +2 Heat Wave, does around 250, and that's assuming they have Nasty Plot in the first place, and they did bring Heat Wave. So I think I can go out into that. If they only have Hurricane, they don't even have a chance to kill me. And I do want to keep Morgrem around now that Gotharita's weaker. That's maybe I can like go for Dazzling Gleams and pick up the 2 KO that way. I think Morgrem's too important for Fracture. Dark Pulse. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna go for Volt Switch here. Hurricane or Heat Wave, neither of them are capable of killing me from this range. I could go T-Wave. Maybe I go T-Wave. If I can paralyze this, am I ever faster? No. So I could go Wild Charge, maybe? To get damage on something? This is making me think Fracture's like some sort of setup set. And I am at a range where I can actually live an Outrage from Fracture if it's not Choice Band. So maybe I do just go for Volt Switch and try and preserve this a little longer. That's fine. I think that's fine. I saw how much damage Dark Pulse did. It was around 40%. No, not 40%. Murkrow. I don't think this is a Violate. So I could maybe try and go out into Gokey, but I don't like that quite as much. I could go out into MARSHTOMP and try and rest here. I think we're just gonna go out into... could go Rookie, try and Grassy Glide this thing to finish it off, but I don't know if it's at enough range, and I can't even reliably confirm. Well, it's under... I really don't think it's Violate, but I think I can still afford to go out into Morgrim. Yeah, that's too much life. We're gonna go for Dazzling Gleam. I'm gonna reveal I'm Scarf Cured. This could be a dead Morgrim unless they switch, but I don't know who they'd go out into. Probably Glimmet, if I were to guess, but I can see if Glimmet is going to even be a Violate, if that's the case. And with Glimmet, I can kind of afford to just like hard switch into Hakamo, I think. No, I probably not. Oh, okay, dead Murkrow. We will take it. I will absolutely take that. Now who do they go out into? They can't afford to go out into Fracture. They could go Quaxwell, and if they go Quaxwell, I think I swap like hard into Grookey, to be honest. But maybe not, because Quaxwell can still do damage, and I would prefer to keep Grookey around. I'm assuming Quaxwell still learns stuff like Triple Axle and maybe Ice Punch or whatever. Air Slash, Acrobatics. They went Glimmet. Okay. I could maybe go hard out into Marshtomp and click Rest. I don't believe Glimmet gets any sort of grass coverage. And I can definitely tank hits from Glimmet. This would also avoid any like explosion stuff. I don't care if this is max special attack Glimmet. The only move he would have would be Solar Beam, I believe, and I just kind of... I don't even think it learned Solar Beam. So what does Glimmet do into Marshtomp? Yeah, Marshtomp takes like no damage, even if it gets a poison off. I'm like totally fine with that, because I just go for Rest. Okay, that's interesting. Meteor Beam... does 92. That's max special attack timid. Oh, that's modest. Does that a crit as well? Oh my gosh, come on, dude. What the heck? That's so frustrating. That's so frustrating. Well, now it's definitely able to kill. Is there any Pokemon I could potentially heal up on in the back? I don't think so. I would have to paralyze something, which probably isn't worth it. I think my play here is probably to go out into Grookey, click Grassy Glide. No, I don't know. I think I need Morgrim still. I guess I'll try to go for Rest. Yeah, he had D-Gleam. I don't know. Was that, like, unfortunate? I think that was probably, like, needed to happen for him. 92, I was at, like, what, 167 or something like that? Like, just barely. That's so unfortunate. 75 is what he'd be able to do. He'd be able to bring me down to 75, I mean. And then Dazzling Gleam would have had a 60% chance to OHKO from that range, assuming it's still just like max special attack timid, but that is so unfortunate. It's not even funny. I guess we go out into Morgrim and try and get it like a Dark Pulse flinch or something. I'm pretty sure this is not, I mean, obviously it's not a Violate, so we can go for Dark Pulse. And Morgrim should be able to 2-hit KO if I can get a flinch that's guaranteed. Maybe I could have gone into Grookey and just clicked Woodhammer in hindsight. I probably should have just did that. This is definitely not a safe method, but I think that's fine. I just don't want this thing to be like really bulky as well. But I don't know, Grookey's like so strong. Grookey has so much power behind him. Do I get the flinch? Because that would be awesome. Oh wow, okay, that's, I mean, that makes up for the crit for me. What's his switch? Hakama-O? Or, Fracture, I mean. Fracture takes, like, a tremendous amount of damage from this. I think Fracture gets 2-hit KO'd. So we just go for Dark Pulse again, and that should be able to kill the limit. Wow. They got MARSHTOMP. Ah, that's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. I don't know how much it would have mattered. But I did have a chance of living that for sure, unless they were modest. But if they were modest, then I don't believe they had... It depends. A lot of stuff depends there. I imagine, you know, if they're modest, I don't think there was anything I could have did. I looked at the max roll on Meteor Beam, and it made a 60% chance for... Okay, that's fine. It made a 60% chance for Dazzling Gleam to KO. If it was modest, I imagine that makes it a lot simpler. That's big damage. That's a huge chunk. I think I can go out to Shrapnel, click full switch. Gokey could maybe come out here, but just like Quaxwell does learn triple axle. If he gets just even like at all lucky with the triple axle hit, Gokey is most definitely dead. Like 3 hits, easily one-shots. If they're like Brave Bird, that easily one-shots, but it does get damage off on them. Maybe I can go out into Charge Bug first, because I don't know if they're going to be able to kill me for sure. Yeah, we'll go Charge Bug. If they flip turn or something into like, well, I guess if they go into Gotharita, I do have to kind of, no. Yeah, I have to kind of respect Substitute on Gotharita. That's fine. It brings me down to 99. That sounds reasonable for a range. I don't think it necessarily has to be invested, though. Morgrim did do like 25% with Dark Pulse, which that's reasonable, yeah. So I guess MARSHTOMP was really unfortunate. It was really unlucky just all game. It got max roll hit by Yanma, then it got crit by Glimmet. All of that put together obviously means it's like more capable of killing. I'm fine with this. I don't even mind. I think I can just click Volt Switch. Limit, Hazard Leap set. Wild Charge would kill, but I don't want to set up any sort of like rocks or anything. I'm definitely slower. I could maybe just pivot out into Hakama, but I know they have Dazzling Gleam now, so we'll just click Volt Switch and hope they don't have Power Gem or something. They do. That's fine. Well, I know their range now. They're around under 27%, or sorry, like 50%. They're around under that. If Gokey were to come in, I mean, it can just click Knockoff or Grassy Glide or Wood Hammer. It can just smash through this team. Yeah, I think I do have to go Gokey to set up grassy terrain to enable coughing a little bit better. Now, I don't have to go for anything special. If they switch it to Fracture on a Wood Hammer or something, then yeah. I can just go for Grassy Glide. And I can go for Knockoff. I can't go for Knockoff. So we'll just go for Grassy Glide. Maybe make them think I don't have Wood Hammer or something. My Gokey is guaranteed faster than this, so there's not like really a reason for me to click it besides avoiding recoil that way. And the Toxic Debris is fine because I do have coughing, and coughing is on the ground. And if they go like hard Fracture, then the thing is they cannot be adamant as well. Or mold breaker, which is fine. I'm neutralizing gas on coughing. Can't let this set up though. I think I'd have to click U-turn and hope they just like try to set up for whatever reason. I believe Morgrim wouldn't die to the whatever. To the poison. I think it just gets procced by it, and then, you know, the damage doesn't necessarily go through. I get to see if they go for first impression, which would more than likely, that could mean they're banded. And adamant as well. Stomping Tantrum. Okay. They are faster than me. Obviously not a Violate. Can Coughing come out here? Stomping Tantrum doesn't ever 2-hit KO. I get to heal the spikes and I get my Grassy Seed up. So I like that. If they go out into Gotharita, then Sludge Bomb does do a decent amount of damage to them. If I can Thief off the Violate as well. I'm gonna Thief here, I think. I don't see a great reason for them to want to stay in here. So we're gonna Thief, thinking they're gonna go out into Gotharita, and then try and Thief that Violate off of it so that Coughing can maybe live a hit. Makes it possible. If they're not modest, I have a 12.5% chance to not get OHKO'd. If they stay in, I'm curious what item I'll get. Because I'm like positive the back two are both a Violate. Hey Michael, that was Gotharita. So I'm going to steal the Violate from this. It's physically defensive as well. And Sludge Bomb might be able to kill. Oh, it might not be physically defensive. It might just be HP. I could go out into Morgrim, but I think it's just more okay to let Coughing die. And I'm going to try and get Toxic Spikes up here, maybe. Because Gotharita is pretty slow. It's enough that Morgrim could just come out here and click, like, just probably Dazzling Gleam over and over again. After Gokey, like, yeah, maybe that's the method to do this. That's the method to the madness. The, maybe I do just click Sludge Bomb. Because I don't believe Crepuscul is ever going to be able to KO or, like win this on its own. Yeah, I'll just go for Sludge Bomb. I don't know. Maybe not necessary. Yeah, this was fine. This is fine. Gotharita is never going to be faster than Hakamo. And I just need to make sure Hakamo is like strong enough to kill it with Scale Shot. At least 2 hits. It's guaranteed able to kill me here. But I believe Scale Shot's probably guaranteed able to kill it here as well. And if not, then Gokey can easily do it too. I believe the Grassy Train is gone. Oh, it's still here. Okay. That might be out of range for Gokey then. Or not Gokey, Hakamo. Yeah, we'll go Gokey. And we'll go for Grassy. Or I'll go for Knockoff, maybe. U-turn. I can U-turn. Yeah. U-turn should easily kill this. And I'm absolutely faster. If they pivot, then I get out of here. on like Fracture, and then I can go out into just Morgrim and click Dazzling Gleam onto the Quaxwell. Hell, I don't even know if I need to click Dazzling Gleam anymore, because Quaxwell might take more damage from Foul Play. Nah, probably not. Probably not. It's more than likely physical. Okay, Dead Growtherita. I go directly out into Morgrim. If I see Fracture, I do have to respect First Impression, and then I just let Grookey go. I get a little bit of HP. That's not going to matter, but relevant, I guess. Fracture. First Impression obviously kills. Do I have to respect it? Maybe not. Maxwell the Duck. I think I do get rid of this thing's Violate. If I can get rid of its Violate, how much does Hakama-O do? 2 hit. %, with Outrage. Okay. It's pretty solid. I could just go for Dark Pulse flinches though, and that might be better. One flinch. I'm sorry about the flinches, dude. Like, I don't know. It is unfortunate, but I think it's one of my win cons. The other one was just making you scarfed, and I'm sure you would have preferred that not be the case as well. This is good to a point where I think the only thing that could go wrong is, like, if I kill you here. No, because if I go for one more Dark Pulse and you just, like, swap into Fracture. Yeah, this is fine. This is enough. For sure. That's annoying. I just need 2 flinches though, right? I go for 1 Dark Pulse again. Hope you don't roost. If you get flinched, then I pivot out into Grookey and I click Woodhammer probably. Because you're gonna go for roost again. Okay, you're gonna flip. I might have lost. I might have lost because of that, actually. You did go Moxie, which is kind of weird. You're going to be flip turn. Hakama is more than likely not able to live a hit. I don't think there's ever a universe Hakama can live a hit. But I do think I have to go out into it and hope that you're like scale shot. That's so unfortunate. Maybe it's Adamant because Hakama is Jolly on my end. It's not Adamant though because I saw Grookey miss. I mean, I go for Outrage always. I gotta hope you're like not Dragon Claw or something. Like, yeah, I think that was probably a throw on my end. I probably should have just gone Grookey. Miss. Just hit 2. Probably loaded dice though. Yeah. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. I actually lived 3 hits. That's incredible. That's insane. You must be loaded dice. That would make sense. Now Fracture. Yeah, that's such an unfortunate game there. Damn it. That sucks. Ugh. I'm trying to think what I could have done differently. Like, obviously I should have just gone Grookey. I don't know. It's just, I could have gotten rid of the Violate maybe, but obviously that wouldn't have worked out in my favor. I don't know. This was a rough game, I guess. I got really unlucky with MARSHTOMP. If MARSHTOMP was still around, this thing was eating hits. It was eating hits from Quaxwell, it was eating hits from Fracture. It was chewing hits from Murkrow, didn't care at all. And Glimmet obviously was like the one thing. I really think that crit mattered. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate. That did a lot of damage. Jesus. I know it was -1, but that's crazy. If they missed there, I think I won. Like, that's crazy. That is so much damage. What the heck? That was insane. Alright, well, GG's to Shroom. I can't help but feel a little iffy with that MARSHTOMP, because I was going for rest for sure. Like, no matter what, if you clicked any move twice with Glimmet, I was going for rest. I was healing up. So I do think that crit mattered, but it's alright. Not a big deal. GG's to Shroom. At least it was only a 2-0. I think in the end game there, I probably should have just gone Gokey over Fracture, obviously. Or Gokey over Morgrim, I mean. Because even if they went out into Fracture, that enabled Morgrim to come out a little bit more easily. Like afterwards, like, because if did they have momentum? I don't think they did. I think I was the one with momentum there, so I pivoted out with Gokey on Gotharita, and then I went into Morgrim, and then they went into Quaxwell. I think that's what happened. I could have just stayed in with Gokey, clicked like Woodhammer or something, and then dealt damage to Fracture that way, and then force him to pivot out into Quaxwell, and it would have been a whole thing. But I don't think there was any way I could have like guaranteed won that game. I really don't know. That was tough. That MARSHTOMP roll, those MARSHTOMP rolls were just not in my favor at all. But again, no big deal. GG's to Shroom. I hope he has a great week 4. I will see you all in week 4, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.